everyone, it's Ann here from Annmakes. Thanks for stopping by. Today what I want to share with you is another junk journal of mine that I made several years ago actually. I took a box of tissues, an empty tissue box. Here, this you can see the tissue box. And a bunch of these little sales, marketing, mini Copic catalogs, okay, that I had. And I thought, oh, I'm going to make a junk journal. I saw lots of videos on how to make junk journals. People are making junk journals out of junk. And I just thought, well, this will be a great way for me to practice and just for fun to, just to try, because I saw it and I wanted to try it. So I learned how to make junk journals by watching other YouTubers. So some of my favorites and that I've learned a lot from, I would have to say one of them is my friend Shannon Green. Her channel is Shannon Green. Another place I've watched junk journal making is with Jenny Belly. And I've even seen Caged Fish is another one. And what's the other one? There's several people out there that I learned about junk journaling. So that I did not write the rules on this. This is not something I invented at all. But I want to show you my version of a junk journal with junk that I actually had around the house. So I already mentioned the tissue box, the mini catalogs, and my binding is made with elastic. This is black elastic that was left over from sandals that were attached together. I had bought a whole bunch of summer sandals, flip-flops and just slide-on sandals for my family. Everybody needed new flip-flops and sandals and stuff, so I had bought that, and they had all come attached to a plastic hanger, and I had bought when I bought them at Walmart, and that's how they were sold. And I just thought all the elastic that was holding the shoes to the plastic hanger was neat, and I just kept it. After I got home, I had no idea what I was going to do with it. But I knew that one day I would do something. And then, yeah, I decided I was going to make this journal. And I decided I was going to use this elastic cording for the binding of my journal. So this, if this looks like trash to you, well, it's because it is made from trash. Clean trash, but nonetheless, stuff that would normally end up in the recycling bin. And I never intended to ever show this on camera, so, but hey, what the hey. I wanted to share with you that you don't have to have any extra money to go out and buy extra supplies. You can make stuff from whatever you have at home. So, I'm pretty sure a lot of people, most people will have a box of tissues and they will have some sort of useless junk mail, catalogs, magazines, whatever. If you're wondering how come I have so many of these little Copic catalogs, I had these because back in 2009 I was getting my intermediate level teaching certificate for Copic, for teaching Copic coloring methods. So at the class, the teacher had a whole bunch of extra catalogs for any of us who were interested in taking them to recycle them because they were they were coming out with a new catalog, because this was in the late summer of 2009. So these catalogs weren't going to be up to date anymore. New ones were coming out, and she had a whole bunch of extra. And just in case we had an idea for how to use these, or because she was stuck recycling them anyway. So I said, sure, I'll take a bunch off of your hands, not knowing what the heck I'd do with them. And then years later, I still had them, and I decided, oh, these would make a great junk journal. Now, this has been lying around, well, it's been in my way. It's been on a shelf. It's been in a box for years. I recently remembered I had it on the shelf here in my studio with some other journals I made, and I thought it would be a good idea to show this to you guys, especially after I did those dollar store haul for journal making. I thought, well, why don't I show this idea that I have too? So I've shown the fact that I've used notebooks. I showed the napkins in the old planner. And now I'm showing you my trashy one. And I have a little note here because I have the intention of making this into something else that I got inspired from Shannon Green and Caged Fish. And I'm calling this my en masse scavenger journal. So if you want to know or understand more about this, please go check out their channels. I will try to remember to leave links for their channels below in the description. And so what Shannon has done is create categories to find pictures and such in magazines, ads, junk journals, drawings, coloring, whatever she could find, and collect those images, because as journalers we love to collect pictures of things, images in magazines and all over the place, and we often end up with lots of images that are extra. We don't know what to do with them, but they're so pretty we don't want to throw them out. And her idea was to use a lot of that stuff and make a en masse journal where she would have spreads of just certain categories. So that is what I will be doing with this. I have to reinforce my tissue box cover. I will be working on that eventually. I'm not sure if I'm going to reinforce it with duct tape or other papers. I'm really not sure what I'm gonna do, but yeah, I might do that. So this journal has enough pages for me to replicate Shannon Green's en masse collection journals, and to replicate all of her categories. And she has 78 categories on a 2-page spread. So if I do the math quickly, 78 times 2, that's 166 pages. So basically I have at least 166 pages in here. I do have more than that, so I could do the 78 categories. So this is a long-term project, but my pages are smaller than hers, so I'm hoping that this will go faster. Okay, so for the 78 categories now, I have to make some tabs, and I am using more junk to do that. the jug I am using is some card that I have left over. This is the cover of a tablet of watercolor paper, and this was the packaging of some other card that I had, and it's just really thick, like card or cardboard. And I will be punching out 78 of these tabs with this punch. And this punch is a paper shaper from the Stamping Up line. This is actually made by EK Success. And this is the tab I have. And I've had this for years. I've made so many tabs out of this. And here is what it looks like when it's punched out. And what I'm going to do with each one of these tabs is to score on the fold line. I'm just going to center it here on my little scoreboard. And like this in better. Like that. And, oh, it didn't go in the center. Okay, I got it. All right. And I'm just going to do this 78 times to make little tabs. And what I'll do is I will glue, I even wrote the instructions, I'm going to put glue in the center part here, and some double-sided adhesive tape on the edge here. So I will glue this part. I won't remove the other part of the double-sided adhesive until I am ready to install the tab to my journal, like so. So that's my intention of using my garbage to make a junk journal. Now this video is going to look a little strange because this is going to be filmed over a long period of time. It's going to be filmed on different days, so I will probably sound different on different days just because I'm more tired or my throat is dry or whatever. The lighting will probably be very different. I'll be wearing different clothes, although you can't see what I'm wearing, because I'm not going to be working on this in one day. No, I don't have time to do that. But I just wanted to start this first part of the video with this part where I'm introducing you to a junk journal and a future project of mine and exactly what materials I am using to make it. Just to give you some ideas of things that you can look for to make your own type of journal. Or maybe you have trash around the house and you're thinking, oh, I should just recycle it, but I need a project, so maybe I could do like Anne and just make a journal. So to make this journal, all I did was take the little catalog that I had, it stapled here. I didn't do any fancy bookbinding. I just found the center. I cut from the top and from the bottom almost to each staple, and I ran the elastic around the catalog. I have holes poked in the tissue box cover, and I pulled the elastics out through the tissue box cover and tied it with a knot. It's not very fancy, but this was my first one. One of my first ones. I was just trying out bookbinding, a type of bookbinding, and I didn't want this to cost me anything in case this was a complete disaster. So that's what I did for fun. Before we move on to part 2, I should tell you that this is the end of part 1. Yes, in the next video, you're going to see the updated version of the new glue book, or Annmakes junk journal, or Annmakes scavenger hunt junk journal, whatever you want to call it. It's just something I made out of junk and I'm using to glue images in. So that's coming up next in part 2. I hope you'll stay tuned for that and see the progress. Yes, it looks a little different. That's all you're going to see for now. And so thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video today. I hope you are all well. Please stay safe. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate a thumbs up if you like this video. Don't forget to leave comments. I do read them all eventually. And share if you care. And don't forget, until next time, to stay crafty. Bye.